Hey, what's up? I'm Alex Kinsey.
Hi, I'm iLana Armida.
We write music, sometimes together, sometimes not.
Yeah, and we just had projects come out today, and we're ready to get buzzed.
You got me sweet.
Oh God, you're so good.
You sugar coat. It makes me weak, but it don't show.
It don't show. It's a sticky situation. Why you turning me on? I wanna complicate. I know just what you want. This conversation to the tip of my tongue. Why you turning me on? 'Cause everything you do is smooth.
You know, I definitely love how harmonies sound, and I've always been inclined to make as much music with as many harmonies as I possibly can, which probably is a good reason why I've always had people as other voices on my songs. You know, with BoTalks, we always had features, and then with this, me and iLana write music together all the time. Like, we've been writing together for what, 3 or 4 years now?
Yeah, I wrote on your last project, Party
And
of
on this
One.
project, and I've written on a lot of your releases. And, you know, it just made sense that we have a few songs that we've written together that we were like, both of us sound great on this. And then Bread and Butter came about, and it kind of matched both of the vibes that we were making for our personal projects. And we were like, you know what, let's just put this song out. Like, it's been years of writing together. We have all these songs. Let's put one out and just see. And here we are.
Yeah, I mean, and people seem to love it, so
Yeah,
I think
it's
we're
gotten
gonna.
a really solid response. I'm really happy with that
Yeah.
song.
I mean, it kind of came together very quickly. We had a bunch of songs, and we're waiting for the right record label to come along, or the right opportunity. And we've been holding on to some of these songs are a few years old, and some of them we wrote just 2 months
month or
ago.
two ago,
Like
yeah.
Bread and Butter was just 2 months ago. But we were just listening through to all the stuff, and we kind of were like, hey, these are pretty cohesive, and I love these songs.
And in complete honesty, we kind of got to the point where we had been holding on to music for a while,
Yeah.
and we were like, there's no reason to do this. Let's just put it out. We have all this music, let's start releasing it. And we wrote the plan down on the back of a paper bag.
Yeah, paper bag,
about
you wrote.
6 months ago.
Like, let's just each put out an EP. We're gonna put them out on the same day. Let's pick our top, 10 songs and narrow it down from there.
We had dates for everything, and we were only off by like 20 days. Was
Yeah.
our final. We actually released everything about 20 days late, which I think is that's a pretty good.
Yeah.
We kind of hit it.
Yeah.
Normally I'm months and months late, so
We nailed it.
that was really solid. But yeah, we got tired of hanging on to songs, and we still have a bunch, and these projects made sense. So
Yeah.
why not?
There's people in the bathroom kissing their friends with more than spinning like it's never gonna end. Came with a girl, but I think that she left, and I keep falling down. But is it worth it? Staying up all night to keep a letter like cuckoo? Is it worth it? Wake up way too drunk, it's another good day like ooh. I've got more anxiety than usual. Like I wanna have some fun. I'm an antisocial person, and I know that shit is lame, but I'd rather be at home chilling in my sweatpants like
When we're writing together, it's rare that we walk into a session going like, okay, I'm gonna write for you, or we're gonna write for me, or whatever it might be. We a lot of times just write, and whatever happens.
And we
kinda
collaborate
happens.
with a lot of people too, so we
Yeah.
kind of just go with the room and just try to make the best possible song that we can make in that room with the amount of time that we have. And then we decide, this would be a great Alex Kinsey song, or this would be a
Right.
great iLana Armida song, or be a
great
great song to
whoever,
pitch
yeah.
to a different artist, or for sync, or whatever it is. But we just, every time we get in a room, it's just, let's write the best possible song. And that's how our voices have ended up, both of our voices have ended up on a song, because
'Cause we
I'll
sometimes-
write more of the verse and record it,
Right.
and then he'll write some of the chorus and record it, and then we're like, wait, our voices sound good
Or
together.
sometimes I start off by like just singing the chorus because it's like, oh, this song's probably for you, and then we get into the verse, and it's like, ooh, actually, this could be good with a girl voice, and then you get on it, and then we listen to it with both, and we're like, this is actually kind of sick.
Yeah.
Like with Bread and Butter, it wasn't like there was no figuring it out. We just
we didn't get in the session
yeah.
like, we're gonna write a duet today.
Right.
We just heard this. Our homeboy Eric Straube is the producer, and he played us just this little loop of the beat that he had, and we both just started like.
Yeah. And it came together in a day, and we were like, this song is for us, let's figure out how to make it work. And originally we were going to release it on each of our EPs, and then we were like, let's just do the single, and and I'm really happy with it. I really
It was a
love
good
how
like
it's
setup for both of our projects.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of in the middle. Like our music's very different. Mine's a little bit more on the like R&B pop side, and he's a little bit more singer-songwriter or contemporary pop. And I think this song was right in the middle, and it made sense to be like, you know, if you would like to hear more, now
Yeah.
we have projects.
Exactly. Yeah.
Turning me on. Just what you want. This conversation. This conversation's turning me on. Everything you do is sells.
When Bread and Butter kind of came to be, both of us were like, we didn't really fight over it, but we both wanted that song.
Yeah.
Because we both loved that sort of style of music. So it wasn't like okay, how do we make this work so that we can both be on it? We both just wanted the song, so we're like, let's both have the song.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think we've gotten into this headspace of not overthinking it anymore.
Yeah.
You know, we're just waiting for the perfect moment, or is this what the people want to hear? And we love this project and we love all the songs. So I think it was kind of just that. We're like, if we love it and it feels good right now, let's put it out and
And
hopefully
we would
people
wanna listen
resonate
to
with it. Yeah.
If we think that it's a song that like everything on this album, everything on this EP is music that I would want to listen to.
Yeah, our test is, if this came on New Music Friday on Spotify, would we skip it or would we be like,
Ooh,
what
who's
is
that?
this?
Yeah.
And that we kind of just did that listen test.
That is
and we're
funny.
like,
I've never thought that
Yeah.
was kind of the litmus for every single song that we have. Is like, if this came on a random playlist, what would my reaction be? And every song on my EP, I'd be like, ooh,
Yeah.
who was that?
yeah, I feel good about them too.
And when you gonna learn that you talk too much, yeah. You say that I'm the one, still you're breaking my heart, yeah. And when you gonna learn that I'm falling for you, even though you're crazy, I'm still crazy for you. Yeah, I've been feeling some way about you. You got me in my feelings.
I 100% have FOMO about a couple of her songs.
Which one?
Specifically, When You Gonna Learn. I think that song has so much life to live. I think that it is one of the best songs that I've ever been a part of. I think it's one of the best songs you've ever written. I love that tune, and I really hate that I'm not a part of it.
Your vocals are still in the second
They
verse
are
a little
tucked
bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I left you on there a little bit.
Thank you.
I'll wait, I'll love you like you've never felt the pain. I'll wait.
There's a portion of the fan base that wants me to have never had a sip of alcohol and have never done anything even questionable in my life, and just a perfect specimen of a human
Sweet,
being.
perfect, all-American boy.
Which I'm not. So that kind of becomes that can be a little bit of a challenge sometimes, because I always want people to like what I'm doing, but I also want to be really true to myself. And every time I've released a project, whether it was, you know, A&S or BoTalks or Party of One or now Antisocial, like it's always been what I was doing in my life. Like BoTalks was very much a huge departure from what I was doing prior, because I felt like I needed that creatively. And then the first EP that I put out solo was kind of a departure from BoTalks, but I still really liked what we were doing. And I've always tried to kind of capture what I felt in my life and in those moments. And so far, the pushback from people has not been very intense. You know, a couple people are like, what happened? What happened to the young, nice man without the blonde hair? Why'd you dye your hair blonde? Who is this person? I think that I needed departures. I needed to have a very specific something that made each project different from the last. And musically, they were very, like, everything was different. But like for myself, for image-wise, I needed something really specific to kind of differentiate between things, just for myself, I think. And my favorite moment was I went home for like a Christmas party. I think you were there, were you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we went home for like a Christmas party, and one of my mom's friends came up to me. She goes, I had just cut all the blonde off. She goes, oh, thank God you cut your blonde hair off. I hated how that looked. And I looked at her and I was like, well, I'm so glad you feel that way, because you, my mom's 65-year-old friend, are exactly my demographic. Thank you for your input, you know? It's just like, I don't care,
That's
man.
the general consensus of most of my mom's friends.
Yeah.
However,
I don't really care, because although I am making music for anyone and everyone, but that moment was kind of like, for me, a realization of like, wow, I really don't care what people think about how I'm looking and what I'm doing, because I'm doing this stuff for me. It's genuinely so I can look back and be like, oh yeah, that was the blonde era, you know, or
Right.
whatever.
I think it's great that they're so invested in him and everything he does, and I'm so proud of everything he's done in the past. And like, I think watching the evolution from where I am is really awesome to see him grow and like as a musician and be more connected to his art and make music that he loves more and more. And also just like all of the different looks that you have and like, you know, phases that you have. Believe me, mine
I was
change
gonna say,
even more frequently. I've had every hair color,
Side
every
note, when I met
hairstyle.
her hair was like balayage from purple into blue.
The fact
or
that you knew
whatever.
balayage is
Was
very
that, did I use it
impressive.
correctly?
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
but it was pink and purple
Pink into
and blue.
purple, yeah. That was how I met you. So
Yeah.
honestly, the bleach hair was kind of like, I think you were encouraging.
Oh, I'm
Like, yeah,
sure.
dye your hair.
I'm
yes.
sure. I'm like, whatever you need to do for you, because anytime I go through anything, I'm like, gotta go to Sally's, gotta
Yeah.
change my hair.
I know just what you want, just what you want. This conversation at the tip of my tongue. Are you turning me on? 'Cause everything you do is so smooth. That's my bread and butter.
Well, okay, so I think that Bread and Butter made the most sense for us to put out together because it really kind of captured both of our projects the best as one song. Like it has the funk and the groove and the four on the floor
And the harmonies and the instruments that
and like
we
you can dance to it a little bit, but like also our acoustic version is really rad.
Yeah.
And I think that it really kind of encapsulated what we were both trying to accomplish with our personal projects in one song together.
Yeah, and it was really good coming out of that last question because I think this song was our like, judge us, we don't
Right.
care, you know, like we
Yeah.
have new music, we're having fun, like I
Think
think
what you want to think.
Yeah, I think the world is like kind of sad and dark in this really like tough place right now. And for me, my music is my therapy, it's my escape. And like, I think this song is so feel good and it has such a groove that you can dance to. I think people need that and
Yeah.
I
People
need
wanna be
it and my
happy right
people, my people love it and need that. They just need this escape to just dance and let loose and feel good. And this song is purely feel good
Yeah.
and happy. I mean, it's called Bread and Butter. It's
Yeah,
just,
and it's just kind of about like, I mean, it's just sort of about like the vibe. Like it's not,
Yeah, it
there's not
really
like a
is.
story behind what the song's about. It really was written to try to capture the musical vibe that we heard when we heard the track. We were like, we have to write something that
and just letting go
lends
of
itself
like
to it.
trying to make something perfect,
Right,
you know, because it's
exactly,
very
yeah.
it's an imperfect song, but in that I think people can find a lot of, you know, they can relate and
it's
feel
lighthearted.
yeah,
But it's
feel
also
comfortable
yeah.
and
I don't know. It just sort of felt right. And like you said, it was kind of the first foray of like, hey, we release music together.
yeah, I wrote, you know,
Just
on
makes
every
sense.
song on your project, and you wrote on almost every song
All
on
but
my
one, I think,
project,
on yours.
and we're like, we might as well kind of show that, you know, a little behind the scenes of our collaboration.
Yep. Yeah. So, we've been writing together now, like I said, for what, four years, I
Yeah.
think. And in those 4 years, we've written a lot of songs that we both could and are on. You know, could be on and are on.
Yeah.
I can think of 3 right now that like I definitely want to release in the near future. But it's just, it has to make sense. So it's once it makes sense, it'll make sense, and we'll put it out.
Yeah, I think coming out of these EPs, so we each released 6 songs today.
Yeah.
And then Bread and Butter makes, you know, the 7th for each of us. And then I think we're gonna just ride this EP for a little while. We have a couple of singles ready to go.
Like that aren't out.
That aren't
on the
out,
EP.
but that are ready. So I think the next move is each of us releasing a single and then maybe one of the collaborations that we have.
I think peppering in our collaborations throughout makes it so that, because I think that we both are very happy being solo artists,
Yeah.
but we both really
It's-
like collaborating, especially with each other.
And we're very different artists. It
Right.
just so happens that, you know, separation kind of works together.
Totally.
Like it balances out on some songs.
Yeah. And I think that like peppering in songs together makes a lot of sense because it really does, it is just kind of how we create. Sometimes we write songs for each other, sometimes we write songs for both of us, sometimes we write songs for other people.
Sometimes we're not even, you know.
Sometimes we're writing in
Writing
completely
together.
separate parts of the country. You
Right.
know, it just depends. And I think that like I said, peppering in a couple of songs that we've done together is a really good vibe.
Yep.
Well, you can follow me, Alex Kinsey, on all of them. You know, all the good stuff. YouTube, we're posting some new buddy sessions soon. You know, we got all the new music out today. But yeah, it's just Alex Kinsey. It's easy.
And I'm at iLana Armida. It's iLana with an I, iLana Armida, like your arm. Or you can go to iLanaArmida.com and it links you out to wherever you want to go. But yeah, that's me.
Our goal is to play a bunch of shows in America.
Right now we just have Europe. So
Yeah.
we have a show on the September 18th in London. We have a show in
September
Switzerland.
23rd.
Yeah, on the 23rd, and then one in Marbella, Spain on the 25th.
Yeah.
And then we'll be doing a couple live stream performances from overseas too. So
Yeah.
people can, be a part of that. If you go to either of our websites or Instagrams, you can see all that.
Yeah. And then when we're back in America, we want to book as many shows as we can.
Yeah.
You just got to let us know where we should play.
Yeah, let us know.
Hey, what's up? I am Alex.
And I'm iLana Armida.
You
and
have
you've
just been buzzed.